Welcome back to the second sixes match, third match of the night. We have Morning Light, who you just saw, versus GlobalClan. I think it's pretty safe to say right now Morning Light are the favorites, but given that it is goalie, there is some upset potential. If somebody starts popping off on these mids, one of the soldiers gets a med pick every time, they could turn it around really easily. How you doing, Jarrett?
Pretty good. I'm ready for this goalie watch match. One thing to also keep in mind is, fatigue maybe will come into play. We'll have to see. That's a very real thing you have to think about. So we'll have to see how much stamina Morning Light has going from match to match. As they're going up against GlobalClan this time. Both teams not necessarily putting any wins up on their board quite yet, but this is definitely a position you want to be in to make sure you solidify your playoff spot if that's the route you're taking.
Yeah, well, one of these teams is getting a win tonight, and like you were saying, fatigue. Sandblast third match tonight. Maybe aware, but he really was. He got some big numbers in the match earlier, and for this,
he's definitely ready.
I think he's warm. Let's go down the rosters. Which team do you want to take?
I'll take GlobalClan. We have Ed will be the first scout. There's no real actual way to pronounce his alias.
Ed Kidgerquad.
Yeah, he said it before. There's no real way to pronounce his alias. He just spammed his keyboard, but that's Ed. Shamu is a scout partner. The soldiers are Hayes and Azara. The demo man is Chunky, and the medic is Sky.
Yeah, Morning Light, you saw him. Alpha Flank Scout, Sandblast Combo Scout, Soapy Roamer, Dingo Pocket, Side Demo, Asian, Medic, Asian, doesn't matter. One of them. But, I don't remember what I said earlier in the Golden Cap, but I want to hear what you have to say about this game.
I think because it's Gully Wash, it's going to be definitely more soldier focused than scout focused. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see because whatever you think about how well or bad certain players on Morning Light played, the stats don't lie in that Sandblast was a very big rock for them to collect a lot of kills and stay alive and protect his team. And it's not you can do things on scout on this map, but it's not necessarily favorite for you compared to a lot of other maps. So it's gonna be kind of passing the reins a little bit to his teammates and trying to lead their team to victory. So that's gonna be an interesting matchup to see. All the projectile classes, Psy versus Chunky and Dingo and Soapy versus Hayes and Azara. I will say that Morning Light probably have a small advantage when it comes to experience, but experience on paper isn't always necessarily the most important thing to factor in. Teamwork is a very important factor. You got to be synergized up, and this is going to be a big test to make sure everyone's spam and coordination and is all on the same page, because these mid fights can go pretty fast depending on how you play it.
Yeah, and Hayes and Azara had a very underwhelming start to their season, at least. I think this is the match where you really probably one of their best chances to show it. If they really can hang with Hayes on a new role, Azara new to invite, and I think at least Soapy, his stats weren't the best, but I think he had a lot of impact. And one thing I saw is he just doesn't care. He'll get aggressive if he has to. He'll bomb into whatever he has to, and I think that's very important. I'm gonna say 5-2 for Morning Light.
I'll say about that, maybe 5-2, 5-1, but we do have a live game, Marmaloo. Both teams are going to mid with their very first round going in play. We'll have to see how these dome men kind of arrive at mid. It seems like they're getting to mid relatively the same time. Kind of watch the spam and see if they're able to put out any decent damage. Not tons and tons of damage on either team's big door. Soldiers trying to bomb around and make space, but Soapy's going to commit and actually die. So that's a very early kill coming up for GlobalClan. Morning Light have to try to do what they can with the 5 players. And yeah, he's going up, drop down, collects the medic, almost collects Alpha, but GlobalClan kind of losing some of their own players themselves. Chunky's going to get dropped. Morning Light is kind of staying in.
Scouts went down, dropped. Sandblast is doing the drop down jump, but I think he gets up behind. They just see him, gets on Sky. Sky kite into the health pack, just gets out, and the soldier gets dealt with. And Nazara with a really good start to that mid, and Alpha behind, trying to take a 1v1 versus one of these projectiles. Gets onto Nazara, gets it, but trades out for... Alpha gets traded for Nazara, but yeah, I think they committed early on Soapy, who was on the floor, got picked, delayed that drop, went up, and got the med, and that's a really, really good start for the side of GlobalClan for probably a Morning Light that was feeling good after their match earlier.
Yep, but now they're setting up at their last, getting prepared for the Uber that's going to come in from GlobalClan. They had a gun sitting at the bottom of the stairs and a pyro. That seems like that's going to be their defense. They do have Psy in water, stick water and a little bit of the point. So we have an immediate pop through shitter coming from GlobanClan. Pyro's doing his best to stuff it. He's actually buying a lot of time, is going to finally drop, but there's not a whole lot of the Uber left on. The gun's still alive. Chunky's desperately trying to spam it down and is going to die. And Morning Light's going to drop a soldier, which is going to be pretty detrimental to them. They're going to lose a scout in the form of Ed, as Morning Light is desperately trying to hold on to this point. Initiation coming in from the soldiers. Kills are traded back and forth, but at the end of the day, GlobanClan has used too many resources and unable to successfully get this cap. Only got it half. Sky is trying to run away as fast as she can, and it doesn't seem like Morning Light were able to figure out where she went, so she'll live to fight another day.
They had to win that. They had 2 picks and were in last, and the other team wasn't getting Uber anytime soon, and they just all fell apart, disconnected. But now Morning Light, huge Uber ad. They're already getting the mid. Not enough players. All of GlobanClan kind of in choke. Nazara getting picked off. A lot of weak players on the side of Morning Light, but they get mid for free, and they 40 ad to work with. And Sandblast is instantly calling a fake big door back to choke. Shamu should be caught here. Yep, and that was a really good mix-up play, but good on him getting Sandblast and kind of taking away with a flank scout from the side of Morning Light. And they're getting this point for free with Hayes getting tagged up. No Nazara. And this is a really good play for Morning Light to get the point for free. And maybe GlobanClan can fight this, but it's looking like they're going to concede this point.
Yep, a little bit of a slower pace, but it did allow them to collect that early kill. So not without trading their own. So seems like they've kind of decided they want to play this match, at least for now, a little bit slower, not necessarily rush in with their Brad. You know, just take points for free if you can get them. We do have a soldier in Hayes, kind of sitting in Baby Door, and maybe seeing if he can surprise anyone that tries to, you know, roll up on him. But
Alpha's already on sniper.
He is kind of alone.
Oh, can he get on him? He gets the sniper, just a little funny play, you know, sitting in wood. Actually, he could have gotten Soapy maybe, but that was kind of weird. But Alpha's probably going to respawn on sniper again. Hayes just buying, you know, a little bit of time for them to relax before an off class maybe comes into play.
Yep, seems like a gun is going to be the off class of choice for GlobanClan. We'll see if Hayes comes up with anything when he respawns, but you know, repositioning a little bit. Morning Light's going to have to try to figure out how the other team is holding and choose the best route they can to try to get this force. It seems like they are going to have another sniper through main, going to take his first shot and reveal himself in a couple moments, I can only assume, as his team's trying to make space river. But 2 rockets straight onto the sniper is going to kill him immediately.
Hayes wants to kill the sniper every single time.
He is on anti-sniper patrol, and he's 2 for 2 so far, so I'm sure he's happy about that. We'll have to see if Alpha decides that he's done with this and wants to go something else and let his team take the reins and break this.
Oh, he's going for another.
They'll never expect a third
Hayes,
time.
Come on. I want to see it again.
To be fair to him, he has not sniped on beam yet, and that's what's kind of made it so easy for him to just collect deaths so far in these first 2 lives. So he's rotating over to his heels this time. We'll have to see if he's able to actually get a shot on this time. He's taking a very wide shot, see if he can get a snipe onto Sky. Sky's just crouching over and over again because he knows he doesn't have enough time to charge the shot when he peeks like that. And it appears that with the sniper being revealed, a lot of heavy spam is coming out on this door. This blue team's gonna get weak enough, or they're actually gonna lose Sandblast. I'm not. Oh, he went into water and died. Okay, so he was trying to do a point play.
A little bonus thing that I didn't notice, but Nazara does have the battalion's backup. My HUD does not show the percentages that, but I think he's gonna be getting pretty close because he did get a pick. And now, if you don't know what the battalion's backup does, when you pop it, I think after 800 damage, you get to pop it, and it gives you damage resistance, crit resistance. It gives you more resistance against sentry guns, and it's basically like a mini Uber you can run.
That 35% damage resistance is really nice, and Shamu just gonna run in and say, "I'm done with this," and gonna kill Psy Guy. So that's gonna allow GlobanClan to have a little bit of space here to poke around if they so desire. It seems like they're getting in lobby to see what they can see, putting a little bit of spam on a Dingo and the sniper who's in the staircase, but not necessarily have to commit here. Because they are collecting, they're continuing to collect kills. It's giving them more and more incentive, and it seems like they're going to use the banner to milk as long as possible for this exchange.
Well, they can't get headshot.
And not get headshot, so they're just walking in. Sky's not really going to get weak, and they're milking their heart to their heart's desire, and actually going to make blue pop first. It seems like they are going to lose their soldier for it, but that's just a straight-up force. That's going to be a really nice play out of GlobanClan, so as soon as their soldier respawns, they're going to have an ad to work with to push out of the last now.
Nazara popping it and just landing on Aizen's head. And like, what is he supposed to do? Soapy hiding above lobby. They didn't spot him. He's going to pull the trigger and get 2 picks. That is massive.
A lack of paranoia is also not only do they
River was open.
Yeah, not only do they not check the guy in lobby, but they're not worried about river or water, and they're just going to get back cap from a guy sneaking through. So that's going to be the first round going to Morning Light. Last mid.
2 XDs.
Yeah, last mid we saw GlobalClan, that was a little bit sloppy at the end, but nonetheless dominant and gave them that first mid. So we'll have to see if they do anything different or keep the train rolling on the same way they played last time. They do have soldiers underneath. They're trying to collect a soldier kill. It's going to be a straight up trade this time rather than a one-person advantage. That's going to be pretty significant. Dingo's propping up to potentially bomb, trying to throw out some spam, but it's actually the red team that's going to be initiating. Hayes is going to go in through drop down, but immediately cleaned up is now Morning Light's in a decent position to try to work the advantage they have, but they're getting very low and Alpha's going to get cleaned up. It seems like the Morning Light players, despite having to pick, are way too weak to be able to continue fighting this mid, and despite it being slightly differently, that's going to be another successful mid fight for GlobalClan, and Hayes straight up on Spy early in the match. This is what these players do.
I love to see it, and so far what I've seen is GlobalClan, they got those floor creature soldiers, you know, both of them just kind of lurking around. As soon as they trade soldiers, Hayes just, oh my god, he's so close to getting bumped, and he can't really open that shutter. They didn't expect it. Trying to charge that up and stop peeking big door. If I'm Hayes, I'm yelling at my team. They're just spamming over and over again, but if the longer he takes, the more they're going to expect it, because they're going to be like, where's their soldier? They haven't done anything. They're just sitting here. Hayes, you know, the time is ticking.
Yep, the longer you're... Oh, no.
I don't think they know, though.
Maybe not. I was right around the wall, so it's potential that Sai didn't really notice that was happening. It seems like that they're not really watching their backs too hard. I don't think they actually saw it. But I'm sure they've got to be wondering why the heck nothing is happening so far. Like, there's no pressure,
well,
there's no sack.
Alpha's looking. Oh my god, he's trying to get the back!
Oh. And that's the difficult thing about Spy. If you take too long, it's really unfortunate, and they just start to get paranoid and start checking around, and that is going to be an unsuccessful play. Sophie trying to go in for a counter sack, just straight through big door, not going to be able to find anything. Gets a scout pretty low, but not enough to kill him, and that's going to be a 1-for-1. And Hayes going back up on Spy. They'll never. Oh no! I could have sworn he was gonna be. He'll never expect it a second time. But
that would have been the best thing. The sideshow 2.0.
Yep, they're gonna
3 times.
Gonna go the sniper route. Still a little bit on the slower pace, but just in a different off class. And it seems like the sniper is gonna go straight towards getting in a sight line over into choke.
Yeah, a lot of
peek it.
The new Shamu teams really like playing a very slow. You know, go the sniper. Play it. He likes to go sniper more often, even though they don't really have a. I think Ed's pretty good at sniper, but he's just opting to, you know, take it. This is my game. I'm gonna win it for us, and he's just trying to snipe big door, but no one's peeking. And eventually, if he goes too far forward, the soldier in wood's gonna come out, and he's taking a little bit of spam immediately.
Yep, definitely much of a slower pace. It's only really the sniper that's really putting themselves out here. You have a soldier kind of peeking the corner a little bit, but Morning Light so far not really showing themselves, and I'm sure GlobalClan's okay with that. You know, only a couple minutes shaved off the clock. Nothing too worrisome, but Sandblast, he's not going to have any of this.
Sitting in the corner on the little sign. Oh, Sophie gets a speed shot on the sky. Misses the air shot in the sky. Oh my god.
And with
gets
no
forced
scout
by the melee.
No scout next to Sky is going to be a pretty successful force coming from Sophie despite missing the air shots. That's going to be a good situation for Morning Light to be in as they try to poke around through choke right now. Immediately losing one to a trap, which is going to be unfortunate, but they still have an ad to work with if they still want to try to bully this in one way or the other. A little bit of a slowing happening as they have to wait for Alpha to rotate over, but it appears that choke is the door they still want to push through, Marmaloo.
Yeah, this could open the flank up, but Hayes is waiting and drop. Gets up onto the bed, gets a force, and gets behind. This is such a good play. He's going to be able to be alive for a while behind. Maybe he has to take a 1v1 against someone. But Morning Light getting mid off that Uber. 60% ad, 50% ad from the side of GlobalClan. And Hayes is already at the other team's last. He's going to wait for a pinch, maybe later on. When his team gets
Sandblast too. Sandblast has been looking for him, and so far Sandblast has no clue where Hayes is at all.
There's no way he's expecting River, because he all the way went to lobby, went to last. He's like, I don't know. Alpha's coming to River now. Bat, just such weird timing, and he wins the 1v1.
Yep, and that's going to be a timed with the Uber push coming from GlobalClan. The unfortunate thing is
on top of
the other team is all the way out, but Azing gets really low, 13 HP, but not going to be quite enough to clean him. It seems like they want to continue to push off the picks they have, though. They have to still cap mid, which is the unfortunate thing, but it seems like Morning Light's pretty passive spare Psy. They're kind of letting them in. Soldier initiating in, going to get cleaned up in the form of Nazara. Chunky trying to not bait him is also going to die, and it seems like there was a bit of a disconnect on whether or not there was going to be like committing players happening there. Seems like the flank players at Choke went in, but the combo players at Big Door did not, and that's just going to be 2 people dead for GlobalClan as they give this up.
Yeah, Morning Light having huge Uber. Yeah, Shamu and Sky go Big Door, and Chunky and Hayes going through choke. Hayes trying to come in on the demo, gets shot in the side, and Sandblast full HP against the demo. That's not a good fight for the demo. Hayes in, trying to get on the mid, but Hayes has played enough to know, don't walk through the choke early on this map. You're gonna bomb it.
Yeah, that's gonna be a pretty free second point for Morning Light. Their ad is dwindling a little bit. They definitely have to go fast with this, trying to work their way through Baby Door, but it seems like things are gonna even out. The question is, do they recognize that it's evened out? And it appears like it
he doesn't care.
exactly. They're popping in straight in, trying to see if they can kill the medic, but surprise, Sky has Uber as they try to run away as fast as they can. There seems like there's not going to be that much of a chase in the lobby, just a small amount of damage coming onto Aizen, but not too much other than Nazara. He is going to get a little weak. Not necessarily cleaned up though, and we'll have to see if Morning Light wants to poke around or anything based off the fact that no Uber's happening, or if they're going to just want to, you know, just try to build for another Uber. There is a gun that exists. Soapy is going to die from a soldier in Hayes initiating, but he is... Oh, never mind, he's not going to get cleaned up. He just runs away and goes to the pack. Pistol's missing from, I think that was Sandblast, so any attempt at dry pushing is probably going to be thwarted for now, as we're probably going to be going towards more of the exchange type situation, as the gun is going to move to a different spot.
Yeah, no one going back for an off class, so it's looking like cookie cutter again. Maybe send a scout water and just pressure, send a soldier. But so far, yeah, like you said, gun, and yeah, that's it. There's both teams about to get Uber now, and this is where you start seeing some action happening.
Propped up towards the river, have one person going into water. You know, I have Sai watching lobby very, very passively to let his team know if anyone's going behind, which no one is so far. It seems like it's just a spam show all in river. Trying to desperately spam that gun down. They definitely need it down if they want to actually run in anyone and get close enough to Sky to be able to force her. Soapy's definitely committing for this, but he is a little bit alone. His team's kind of left him out to dry in river. He's going to get cleaned up by Hayes as his team tries to help him out, but they're a bit too far back, so that's going to technically be a one-man as they back up outside and wait for the respawner. Redium seems like
Zara just walked past the trap.
Yep. Is the buff banner again. Or the battalion's back.
Yeah, he's trying to get it. You know, he walked past two traps, and the Sandblast is sneaking into water. I don't know if they know, and he's going to decide to call it off. Once again, as the longer they take, the closer Nazar is going to get to this battalions, and eventually they're going to get the bonus of it. But Hayes committing into river, and that's a really big opening pick. Now they can start pressuring more and more doors. There's one less projectile to really contest him. Alpha pulling people down the point, gets insta-gib, but two weak players on the floor. Ed or Cajun Quad just barely getting out. The Uber comes out, Nazara gets saved. And now Asian's trying to get out, but gets body blocked by Nazara accidentally and gets picked off in the end. And just a disaster Uber. Sandblast and Asian having a disconnect for a little bit there.
Yeah, seems like there was a bit of a miscommunication on what the plan was. They sacked one onto the point, but they go in Uber exchange. You're just giving up the pick that you had to Uber exchange. So not only that, but yeah, the medic dying not necessarily in sync with your combo, and that's going to give GlobanClan an incentive to try to walk forward here and try to take back two. They are going to lose one of the sniper. It seems like they're propped up in Big Door Morning Light as they continue to try to pressure Hayes and Baby Door. But a little bit of a slow take on the repush, and losing one of the sniper is going to be enough for GlobanClan to back up and maybe just go for their Uber advantage rather than their heal advantage when it comes to pushing out this last.
They do get the sniper. It's only 20 ad. They weren't building that great. I think Sky went to resup alone for a little bit, so now it's only a 20% ad. Nazara's going to be building up that banner still. You know, maybe he has it. I have zero clue, but on his way
now, or at least very close. They're working their way in,
He's
but it's not
48.
It's not too long till Aizen able to get his Uber. They are in Big Door, however, so they're not able to necessarily help these people that are trying to maintain control of upper, but they know that they have it, and they're just trying to walk forward to see if they can try to work their way over onto Sky, but Sky hasn't fallen down yet. They could just back up and wouldn't be able to have a good exchange here, so the way that Morning Light has held this is kind of left their flank out to dry, as Dingo is going to die and an exchange is not going to come out. They have the sniper they can try to work with. Chunky is pinned and Shutter not able to cross because Alpha's just sitting there, so GlobanClan don't have a demo as they try to work their way through here and potentially, try to work the pick they have. Chunky's finally able to collect himself with his team, but this pick that they had is kind of dwindled down into nothing as Dingo's able to respawn, so Alpha buying some time for his teammates to try to recoup themselves and find a way to break into second and reclaim it as their own.
Yeah, just another sniper battle, but I think Nazara is now at 56% banner, so it's not that close, but eventually he's going to get it in the entirety of Morning Light, trying to pressure Big Door, get a good shot for the sniper, and one comes out on a Nazara. There goes the battalions, and now they keep peeking their scouts, trying to trying to get some pressure on the sniper. Chunky's eventually going to peek. They end up popping in, but Asian is just nowhere near, and they pop out to only get the sniper. And Morning Light's already pushing choke. GlobalClan has given up all the ground trying to connect with that Uber. And that's going to be them to last with full Uber disad.
Yeah, that was a big judgment call. Kind of blind the Uber was there, really banking on the opposing medic being relatively close, but it was really just the sniper, to be honest, and that's going to be the only death coming out of the Uber. So now Morning Light in a pretty nice position to be able to push in a last with full Uber ad, and it looks like they're going to bust straight through the shutter. The gun going up in the cubby, which is going to be immediately taken out because it's not even done building yet, and it seems like most of GlobalClan is stuck inside their spawn. Spare for Hayes. Not a whole lot of point play yet as Dingo is going to fall, but not without Shamu dying as well. We have scouts trying to clean up the soldier that's hiding away, not in spawn, but red players finally working their way out of the spawn, not necessarily trapped all the way, but not without losing their own lives. The point is finally going to have people stand on it, and with GlobalClan having lost too many players, that is going to be the second round for Morning Light, Marmaloo.
They looked good at the start, and so far they just can't convert. Now you just gotta hope this mid is theirs. And last two times they've gotten a pick every time on the floor. Soapy got killed the first mid, got traded the second. It looks like he's gonna go back to that floor battle with two people on. They're gonna commit onto Hayes. So much damage out. Nazar here to help. Hayes just barely getting picks. They trade 1 for 1, but all of Morning Light is still in their big door. All the high ground, but it does not matter. Alpha getting another pick on the floor in the other team's elbow and just drawing eyes so now their team can start getting up. But Alpha now getting picked in another trade. It's 3v3. Scratch that. Soapy getting picked, and that mid was so strange.
It was really weird. They did like a aggressive right side mid, but didn't actually walk up. I mean, it was a bit scrappy enough for them to be able to, you know, not necessarily wipe everyone per se. It is a 3v3 happening on 2. Both teams kind of collecting some players as a fourth arrives from GlobalClan, and it seems like they're trying to make some space right now to maybe get an early force. It's not too long until both teams have a little bit of advantage coming on to the red team as they are able to send in a scout to be able to get this early force. They are able to, unfortunately, lose them, but they do have a better Uber to be able to chase some players out. Have to be careful about going too deep, though. You have to maintain space of upper as there's still blue players up there now rotating the rest of their team up. They do not want to give up this second point.
Shamu's flanking River. If they don't know this, he's coming in. Oh, he's so close to getting so many kills, but just can't connect. But Hayes comes in, gets side, but Sky gets picked off on the side and just overextending for that solo play, and it just doesn't quite work out. And now it's just Chunky behind the point, getting found out, trying to connect the pipe. Doesn't, and now it's just Ed in big door. Goes himself, and good play from Morning Light. Really getting back together after losing Sandblast in that post and getting mid and Uberad.
Yep, notice that they weren't able to be locked out fully, and they definitely retake 2 and mid now as they try to work their way through choke. We have a scout going in and a soldier trying to make space as well, but not without getting double spam. They are going to lose 1, GlobalClan is, and a second one, never mind. The kill's not going to get cleaned up until later where Soapy is going to die to the sniper. They didn't even realize they had a sniper in the forward spawn as they finally jump forward and try to put immense pressure on, and a nice air shot from Dingo onto Sky as he's trying to get arrowed up, and I think that's going to call it quits for GlobalClan here in terms of holding 2. Even Chunky is going to die in defending himself from Alpha, which is not a trade you want to be doing when you're playing Demo Man, is it's just the soldiers and an engineer, and I guess the sniper is respawning as well for this hold. Doesn't seem like Morning Light wants to play this too fast. They know the advantage they have, and they definitely want to work it. So then we're going to play this a little bit slow, maybe try to spot a little bit and prop themselves up for a good Uber push in here, and it looks like it's going to be River, Marmaloo.
Yeah, Dingo soloed that last point. They pop in, Soldier in water. They're going to get in. They don't quite find the gun early. Soldier now baiting the point, hits a nice shot onto Hayes, gets a pick, and now they have a scout in secret. They're pressuring the point now, and there's nothing you can do. And I didn't have time to say it, but Dingo got 3 picks on that second push. He killed 2 people at choke, jumped in, caught out the med, and he really got there, and Andy airshot the soldier on that last.
Yep, that was I mean, it was a good attempt on paper from GlobalClan, but unfortunately it seemed like there was a bit of focus fire mishap or something along those lines because they put a lot of damage onto that choke. They were in the right spots, but not really a whole lot of kills coming out until the very end where a sniper is the one that, you know, cleans up the kill with a body shot. So not necessarily what you want to see, having to lose 2 players to only really collect 1 that's already gotten through. So a bit of an execution error on their part, and like you said, Dingo did a very, very good job at, you know, maintaining his composure and cleaning up those kills for his team to be able to win that push.
Yeah, these logs look like something of the past. All 4 soldiers top damaging, and the scouts on red team, at least on GlobalClan, just 5 and 4, 6 and 8, just a really, really slow game of just stalemate. Ed hasn't been on the off classes, so he's kind of just, you know, playing NG, playing scout, chilling out, waiting for something to happen. And, you know, The soldiers overall, I think, have been playing pretty well. Hayes really having a bunch of big plays. Something surprising that just like 0 assists on Roamer feels so strange to see. At least, playing it.
Definitely maybe a small coordination issue with like, syncing up your players to make sure you're collecting the kills you want to get, especially in that last fight there. I'm really unsure how it took so long for any Morning Light players to die without dropping 2 in the first place. So the good news for both these teams is, you get a halftime to try to fix any issues that might have came up. GlobalClan definitely has a lot of work to do, and making sure that they're able to reverse this deficit that they're in, down 3 rounds, 2 more, and Morning Light is able to take this. So we'll have to see what they can kind of change. So far, the mids have been in their favor. It's been progressively more and more scrappy, so I'd say there's some potential for Morning Light to kind of change up what they're doing to be able to start winning these mid fights, but GlobalClan also has to prepare for that because they've been winning mids but not converting the rounds, so you definitely want to make sure if you're able to convert any rounds at all, you gotta maintain that position and winning mid and taking their second or last, etc., etc.
Yeah, GlobalClan hasn't lost a mid. Both meds having 2 deaths on goalie is kind of unheard of. Usually at least you have as many deaths as mids played, but no, both of them playing pretty solid so far. It's kind of impressive.
Yep, definitely prioritizing their survivability, and it shows with the logs, like you said. It's definitely very, very important because there's many, many times that you could run a gully wash strat where you literally just sell out into big door for the other medic and then peace out, which is, we saw that occasionally throughout the beginning of the season, especially in the previous match, so I wouldn't say it's unheard of for Morning Light to maybe go for that strat where they just set up something in big door to kill Sky and then peace out onto their own too. So that's maybe something that we should be looking out for as a potential way that they might change the way they're playing mids. But I'm sure GlobalClan recognize that as a potential thing that might actually happen. There hasn't been a whole lot of aggression at mid when it comes to really like screwing over the other team at big door. So we'll have to see if any of the teams try to do that to make sure it's fresh and good for their team going into this next half. But it appears we are going live, Marmaloo, into the second half. We'll have to see if GlobalClan is able to maintain their hold on these mid fights or if Morning Light has something new to show them.
Yeah, and they've been doing great on these mids. And they just need to be able to keep going. They're just crumbling after they get the mid down. A lot of stickies deep into big door. Morning Light pretty slow, but they're end up committing on the other team's side. Alpha getting piped down by Chunky. Another pick on the side of GlobalClan, but it's 2-1. Nazara getting on the demo, and another great mid, and just convincing all around. Once there's a scout soldier mad up, so they can still try and contest Soapy in river. The rest of Morning Light saying, nope, we are going straight to last and making sure that we are getting this Uber. And now some of the players rotating to river, maybe trying to get a bit of spam out, but second is kind of a lost cause for the side of Morning Light.
Yep, GlobalClan show their dominance on the mid fight once again as they're able to take it, but they still need to prove themselves pushing last. This is not the worst scenario to be in, a little bit of a stalemate situation. They can kind of take their time like they have been so far in this match and try to figure out what's the best way for them to try to break it. It seems like there is a
spy.
Oh, he's on spy to check the opposing off classes. I don't think he's actually going to be out, and he is not. There is a gun being built by Alpha, so that seems that's going to be the only off class for this defense. Hay is going in immediately, dying to a trap by Sai. It seems like it was going to be an attempt 2-man as Ed tries to go in and is able to clean up Dingo, so he's actually staying in lobby, so he is going to die himself as well. So 2-man going to be out for GlobalClan, 1 in return for Dingo. I'm sure it was a bit of him getting pushed on balcony itself, but Soapy seeing him push a little bit into river and doesn't want to commit too hard because it's a bit of a lopsided timing. Some aggressive traps from Sai at the top of the staircase. That might catch someone off guard. There's no one really in lobby to spot that, so we'll have to see if he's able to successfully get any kills for that or not. But we do have a spy coming out onto Ed. He is actually committing out. He's not checking for the opposing team. He's walked out of the spawn.
He's taking his time, though.
Yep,
but
for sure.
I don't think I've ever seen that trap from a demo before. Like, it was so far forward in the ceiling. It wasn't on the pillar. It was before that. Now, I don't think Sandblast has checked. And, I do not like this. I do not like peeking as a friendly sniper. I don't think this works anymore. Everyone, if the sniper peeks and doesn't take a shot after a while, you're like, what's happening? Why is he just gone all of a sudden? But now, he has peeked, and now he's going to try and get through. Hey, no. That's so sad. He ate a direct while cloaked.
I don't even know if that was meant for him. I think that was just spam going into river and he was just hugging his model, so he died. So that's going to be an unsuccessful spy play. Counter initiation coming from the blue team, but not without destroying their health as a lot of good damage is put out on them in River. I don't think Morning Light wants to deal with this anymore.
He's in big door behind, and he almost spawn camped people, and I think he does know Hayes is on spy because he got a good peek at the forwards. And yeah, Hayes on spy. Then they know.
Oh yeah, they call it in chat. Spy again, Hayes is sitting in main right now. He types nope, so we'll have to see how much they believe that. He's sitting underneath, waiting for his team to maybe make some noise for him to go in for a kill. Another gun coming up by Alpha and a pyro out of Sandblast. He's ready to stick himself on his combo, reflect spam, and potentially find this spy. We'll have to see how GlobalClan does at trying to distract enough for Hayes to get any successful play coming out. When it seems
on cap.
No, that's his way to create noise. It doesn't seem like there's going to be any necessary play coming from GlobalClan in terms of a second player. They're just going to take that spy death and run with it. As you know, a soldier initiation coming into lobby from Soapy. Good damage onto him though from Ed. Seems like the counter sack is not going to be the play to make as he goes back to his last, and they're just going to be happy to chill here, just wait for GlobalClan to maybe make a mistake or something, or find a situation that's a bit more advantageous for them, as they are going to keep their engineer and their pyro ready for whatever GlobalClan throws at them next.
Yeah, that was actually probably the best play he could have gone for, but all the cap time has disappeared by now. But yeah, they're probably going to see a bit more pressure, maybe sending someone water, but a little bit of a weird to hold. Pyro in water with the dispenser, and he's scared of the spy. Sticky's all over the ceiling, ready for a sack, and your GlobalClan taking the chime, trying to spam this gun from balcony and shutter. Don't quite get it, and they actually get picked, which is just going to delay this a little bit longer and give an opportunity for a counter sack, which Soapy is going for.
Yep, he's in big door, not without Ed pushing him though. Ed so far has been pretty successful in these 1v1s. He's putting a lot of damage on him, and Soapy once again for the second time is going to realize that this is a little bit more than he can handle realistically, so he just goes ahead and backs up the last and doesn't bother dying. So back to another even scenario. This is maybe the fourth or fifth time, but we'll have to see if GlobalClan continue to try to, and it seems like they're going to go for a spy play. He's, they have their soldiers up again, so we'll have to see what they try to do this time in terms of, this pyro is actually getting really aggressive in Sandblast. It seems like they're going to be stacking River, and that's going to be their play to try to spam this gun. They tried lobby earlier, but it doesn't seem like that's going to be the route for them.
Yeah, Ed getting picked again, and this is just hemorrhaging time off the clock, and this is... They keep waiting for all their players up. Soapy trying to get a sack through the stairs, doesn't quite work. Oh, reflect almost onto Shamu. These soldiers are not shooting another rocket, and I'm hoping something happens, something I always talk about, 5-minute round timer. This would have been all, this is about to be all over, but we got another 5 minutes in this round. Ready to happen. A lot of damage on the side. Not going to net anything. Another cookie cutter from the side of GlobalClan, and I really want them to do something here.
Yeah, they're making attempts at trying to spam down this gun, but it just seems like they're not necessarily in sync. Especially with this pyro being in play, they have to try something and try to figure out how they want to break this hold and try to get this gun down, or at least do something that doesn't have to do with the gun, maybe like a water point play or anything to distract them, because it seems like there's, Morning Light's pretty content with being able to counter spam these doors. There's nothing that's really making them frantic, so I kind of want to see what GlobalClan does to make them be not sure what they want to focus fire down. Right now they're relatively stacked. Most of them are in River, and that's not going to make it too much difficult. And they're
yeah,
finally
if I were them, I would have
water.
sent someone water, and now there's a pyro and a soldier water. So this is the gun being opened for them, but a soldier commits through River onto the scout, and Ed must be confused because they dropped a soldier somewhere else. Ed gets picked by 3 people in water. Inside doing the same thing. Gonna push big door. Gonna try and spawn camp Hayes. If he gets there in time, this could be incredible. And he's gonna get there. And Hayes is gonna walk out, and soldier dead. And Soapy's also in big door behind. Sandblast getting picked, and this is the strangest thing ever.
Not the gameplay I was expecting, but I'm here to have it in this stalemate scenario because it makes it interesting at the very least. GlobalClan still trying to find their way to kill this gun the best they can.
Water. They're not reacting to it very well.
He's killing the dispenser though, so that's a warning that he's in water and it's just gonna get him killed, unfortunately for him.
I think he could have jumped around it, but get some points up on the board.
Shamu doesn't kill the dispenser, so he's just hopping on it. A lot of cap time though. Now that is going to create the distraction that they want to be able to make Morning Light kind of frantic and not able to hold their doors properly, but the pyro flank.
Chunky got air blasted away, or Sky's gonna get air blasted by this pyro. This is incredible. Gets the burnout, but doesn't get the kill. Chunky dying very, very late. This is a good opportunity. No off classes on GlobalClan, and I don't think anyone's really in a position to back at. Both soldiers kind of playing by their choke. Hayes
Jim is
in.
going for it, kind of, but there is a gun left on last, and he has to 1v1 the engineer. Is not going to be successful and have to try to find his way to make this a good situation for him. So if he comes back, tries to spam him down a little bit, doesn't seem like this is going to be anything successful for GlobalClan, as they are going to lose the second cap. They still have this scout behind. He hasn't died quite yet. So that'll be a little bit of a thorn in Morning Light side, as they do probably have to make some attempt at cleaning him up in some capacity before they're able to dry. So no dry fight for Morning Light. They definitely want to kill Shamu here. Everyone's really far back. If only GlobalClan knew how free second was. He creates so much space, but not a whole lot is moved off of it. I'm sure Shamu wasn't necessarily able to give them the information they needed, but he is going to die to that wrench from the engineer. So at least the good news at the end of the day, that could have been a dry fight in the mid, but the move that Shamu made definitely bought time for his team. So instead of GlobalClan losing mid off of a dry fight, they're in a situation where it's even, and they're going to go for a spy play.
Yeah, this is...
They're both going to go for a spy play.
Oh, this is going to be so funny. I don't think either of them checked.
$5 they bump into each other.
There's no way. That'd be insane. And they think Alpha's on sniper. He has disguised as a friendly sniper. Shamu actually taking damage. I think they may know, and if... Yeah, he's given up. They spammed him. Now he's leaving. But Alpha does... Wait, he's going back in. He's going for more. Alpha gets the call, and I think someone jumped on Alpha. And he keeps just taking spam. I don't know.
Rocket jumped next to him.
Again? He got jumped twice, and he's just opening the shutter on Spy. Oh my god.
Trying to make whatever noise he can to draw anyone back. This is going to be a weird one. This is not unwinnable. Not in close quarters. It's definitely unwinnable there. Never mind. So that is going to be the sack for GlobalClan. And Alpha's
he's looking
behind on
ahead.
Spy. Yeah, he's looking, seeing how the other team is holding, and see if he wants to make any opportunity for himself to go in. But Shamu is going to be respawning on Scout, so he has to be careful about his timing. There's going to be a trade happening with the soldiers over in Big Door, I think it was. So that's going to be less spam on these doors as Alpha. In a more prime position to go for the medic. Approaching Sky, going to shank her, but not going to be successful in getting that force. So that's going to be 2-die for Morning Light, and that's going to be an opening for GlobalClan to rush in here. They're peeking the choke, see if they can go in without necessarily using, but they're putting good damage onto Shamu. They're going to finally pop their Uber, and it's going to be a decent exchange over on GlobalClan's side. Good damage coming out onto the blue players. The question is are they going to be able to successfully get kills? And they are. Good damage coming out onto the blue team as GlobalClan is finally able to work their way in, collecting more and more kills. A's going to die in the back lines from their flank from Big Door. This is a good position you want to be in if you're GlobalClan, as they're able to take this second point. And there's only two people really left alive.
River. If no one comes here, a soldier will, so he's going to be able to get this pick most likely. And he's not going to be able to stop second anymore, because if that soldier didn't go there, it was possible. But they actually...
Dingo kills Chunky. Chunky was alone. He was alone in Baby Door and just died.
Gets picked, but they should be able to hold last now on the side. But 30 ad for GlobalClan, and this is a good spot. They got off their own mid. Now they're on the other team's last, and they have Uberad to work with, so we don't have to see them try and fumble around, break into last. Sai in water, I've seen him do this a lot. He loves playing in water, taking a duel there. But overall, Uber coming up anytime now from GlobalClan, and NG up, and Samwest building this whole time.
Looks like they're eyeing towards River. They're spot a little bit. I think they maybe considered going a different doorway, but it seems like River is going to be the play. Spam continues to go out, and it's going to be a 5-man through River, it looks like, as they're going straight through onto the gun. A lot of Morning Lighter in spawn spare Dingo. They are going to actually lose sight because they flash someone underneath through water at the same time to kill him while he was underneath there, and they lose Azen as well, so there's no chance of getting heals onto these hurt players. And that is going to be a successful push and round for GlobalClan. Their first round on the board normally.
Shamu with a 5K on that round. He had a really good Uber, gets the demo during it, and then gets 2 picks, I think, on last, and they just have a really scrappy fight, and they're on the board, and now this is really, I think they showed they can win rounds now, and it looks like another standard mid. Soapy instantly rushing the other team's side. Chunky dropping on the floor, and they're going to go the other team's side, committing instantly, getting 4 picks, 5 picks, and now it's just Soapy up, and he gets air piped, and that was such a big mid for them, and a momentum switch. Morning Light is all on the same spawn wave. That's how quick it was.
That was very, very synchronized. If only they could have done that on last. Their mid fights are so good and consistent, despite it being slightly different every time.
If Chunky comes here, or Sai comes here and doesn't expect it, that could be an early demo pick.
definitely. And Sai, he's in there. He's played water so much so far every single time, and this is something he traditionally does.
God.
So now we're in a good position for him to die. For GlobalClan, is Hayes is going to be able to collect that kill and be 100 health himself, which is not ideal, but it is workable when it comes to surviving. As the blue team is going to go ahead and lose their pyro, trying to air blast the point as they put their players onto it, and that's going to be a very, very quick kill. It was so hard to figure out what was happening. They just ran straight in right when the picks were happening water, and that's gonna be their second round normally.
I don't think Morning Light's won a mid. And
They have not.
that's really bad because the momentum's in favor of GlobalClan. They hit him with a really, really aggressive mid, and now I think they're gonna be a little bit more passive, a little bit more scared. Hayes and Soapy trading damage, a lot of damage out into Aizen, and Sky's full HP. Nazar sneaking into the other team's drop. I think Soapy does call it, but he's already up. Gets a 1v1 versus Sandblast, which he doesn't get. But the Sandblast leaves the med, and Hayes gets a free bomb on the med. Given Sky gets traded out, but that is a good salvage play in a trade with Ed and Dingo.
Yeah, Morning Light finally get their counter initiation down. Definitely good job by Soapy stuffing the players that are trying to walk across the point to prevent them from cleaning up on the rest of his team. So good play out of him, giving his life for it, and that is going to be a successful mid-win for Morning Light, their first of this match. They're posting themselves a little bit on the second point. You have to be careful because they know their heals aren't quite here yet, so GlobalClan is going to try to show up, but a lot of cap time going out. They're definitely trying to initiate on them and shove those players back. Kill onto Soapy Meister, but the height advantage is in favor of Morning Light. They are going to lose one, and Dingo going behind and flanking and collecting Sky and Shamu is going to be a big play from him. Despite their own team dying though, so or not, it's going to be a 1v1 that Alpha will win because he has much more health as he runs straight to last. Only two people there. I don't think he necessarily wants to do this, and he kind of recognizes it's probably a little bit more than he can handle as he goes a different route. Oh, he wanted to go through water, but saw the building soldier and decided never mind. So we do have Sandblast on Spy. He has committed out of his respawn, so he's sitting in Baby Door. I think he recognizes that since Sky died first, Sky has a small ad and they might try to poke around or whatever, so if there was any time to back cap, this could be a decent time. In worst case, if they don't push, just do a spy play. So this is definitely not a bad play to do. Morning Light kind of recognizing that there's a chance that Sky could have an okay ad. It ended up not really working out that way. It's only really 10% not usable, but I'm sure they're just playing better safe than sorry is. Things are probably going to even out a little bit here. You have a sniper sitting up in River. He is going to be able to collect Soapy, so that's going to be one kill on the board. It informs of their defense. Hayes trying to see if he can counter sack, but immediately thwarted and have to push all the way back, cleaned up by Alpha. So 1-for-1 trade. Sandblast still on Spy. He's moved a little bit deeper now. He's kind of in the center of the last. Yep, just kind of seeing how things are holding. They should know where the gun is this time, so that's good for Morning Light to get a good way to spam it out really early. They are propped up in River though, so it's not necessarily the best way to be able to spam it, but I'm sure they're probably going to go for something different if they're in River, ignoring the gun. Sandblast on the point, maybe want to do some sort of like point distraction play or anything like that in this even Uber scenario. Gun getting moved a little bit, now might be the good time to go. Sandblast can see this, there's no gun, but it doesn't seem like Morning Light is ready. They've kind of rotated to a little bit of a different positioning further back in River, and gonna have some water initiation coming out. Distraction.
Instantly dealt with, and a soldier comes in. I think the soldier going water kind of just got them ready for the cap. I'm surprised and just I love how much spy I'm seeing, but it's just not working so far. And now GlobalClan kind of taking a while to get it going here. Shamu peeking into Baby Door, and Hayes getting through. I think he may be trying to hide to get a spawn camp. Sandblast on spy again, unless he's just AFK. No, he's checking at least.
Yeah, Baby Door is pretty open. They're not really holding in a way where they can see it very easily. Soapy's going to get a little bit forward and might be able to see something, but I think GlobalClan realizes that, Sandblast was so slow that they might actually think that he's on spy himself until they actually see two scouts on the board.
No,
and Shamu
he saw it.
Okay, so Shamu is going to go on spy. He's checking for enemy spy and enemy sniper. Probably not going to find anything as Morning Light is. They are on cookie cutter classes. They push themselves through River. They have a scout going in water, trying to make some sort of play. Soapy going right in behind him. They're able to put themselves on the cap. Double soldier bombing it onto the point. Hayes is actually going to fall there, which is really unfortunate for GlobalClan. That wasn't their banner soldier, so they have that working for them. So a little bit of a hole in the defense that Morning Light can try to work with, but the gun is still very, very prominent. Still going for point plays. Sandblast, potentially Alpha, but I think he decides against it, and kind of just shows how important this gun is. It's really difficult to get anything done because this gun can cover so many doors. There's just so many players that can throw themselves on this point and not get
Hayes
punished.
is committing on spy, and And by the way, Nazara does have his banner charged. Hayes on Spy again. I don't think Alpha saw that. I don't know if he actually bumped him, but he was so close. And now this is a pretty good off timing for Spy. And he's gonna... People are going to walk into lobby, and this is an opportunity for him to get in. Going to decloak behind them in River. I don't think Ace is going to turn. He gets it! And that's such a big pick. They also get Soapy trading for Hayes. And now they have the banner. They have full Uberad. And now 2 picks to push out of last against.
Yep, they're working their way through Upper River right now. Banner has not been popped quite yet. They're just trying to see what they can do in terms of milking as much as they're at as they have in terms of resources and players. But Shamu going to die to spam, which is really unfortunate. Probably played that a little bit too fast and unable to successfully deal with the soldier that was bombing in. Speaking of the soldier bombing in, Soapy's able to successfully get that force, so that's their ads are going to kind of go down the drain. Not only that, Alpha behind on scout, behind the point, ready to flank whenever his team busts through the choke. He's finally going to go now, and he's taking his time. He's not.
God, he was just watching him. And he gets one shot in the
immediately
back.
destroyed.
And they pop the banner through choke, no Uber, but they don't care. They have that damage just in all of Morning Light's trying to run away. So much damage, and Chunky gets 2 with the pipe, and they're turning around 4 kill swing. Sandblast just up alone, and they are looking incredible right now. Alpha
Banner
gets
is very, very strong, as you can see here. If you can afford to actually build it up, and these stalemates are definitely propagating that and allowing that to happen. Is GlobanClan in another good position to maybe continue the streak they have? 2 rounds right now. Can they turn it into 3? Another Uber ad scenario for them is going to be a solid 70% ad. Morning Light setting up the classic. You know, they have their gun, they have their pyro. And it seems like GlobanClan's getting ready to pick the doors there, looking towards River. And they actually spam with the gun too, so this might be a little bit easier than normal Marmalou. There's no gun.
Yeah, Sai's had enough of water. He is in secret this time around. They're popping in. They do get the pyro down, but now they're going to get on Soapy, who's in secret, but he wins a 1v1 versus Ed, gets Chunky in the side, gets Shamu, and what a great hold from him. And now Sky recognizes we're not winning this, gets out. And I think Hayes was out of ammo, gets picked, but Sky, really good job, gets out just in time. Sai pushing their own choke, trying to get in, maybe. Sees Sky, trying to stick to the forwards, keep Sky isolated for a little bit, not being able to build this whole time. They're going to have even bigger ad. Shamu going to get out through the spawn door. And now they should know they have 100% ad entirely. And now this mid should be... Actually, GlobanClan should be able to get here in time, but no. Morning Light just breaks through the choke, and they're going to give it up.
Chunky very weak, going to be able to successfully get out though. I think that last push was a little bit too fast. They brought in so many players and weren't able to flash them all. So now GlobanClan is gone from all the way from sitting on the other team's second to setting on their own. As Morning Light's going to try to bust their way through choke. Not a whole lot of counter nation coming quite yet. Hayes messes up his jump a little bit, but now it's finally going to go in on Agent. Going to be able to hit the surf he is, but he's very, very weak. Not necessarily any cleanup happening yet. Shamu is trying to poke around. And
they don't see him. They don't see him. He
He
can get a beat shot, and he just gets the force. What a play.
And hits the third one. That's going to be a successful force coming out from him. Good play. I'm kind of surprised that no one really saw him, but either way, it is what it is, and that's going to be a full Uber ad coming from GlobanClan. They're missing one, so they kind of have to probably wait for him before they push out, and more than likely recognize this and are poking around the lobby a little bit, but not... Sandblast is going to be the only one that stays. Sai a little bit far forward as they're actually going in really, really deep. Sandblast is end up going to die, and Sai's going to get chased out and not really able to help successfully spam at these people that are walking through upper, so they've kind of relatively taken this for free. Play from Sandblast did not quite work out, and they're actually playing this at a bit slower pace. Maybe they feel like that their ad is not as big as it actually is as they stack this rather than continue to move on, but they're working their way towards choke. Maybe it's just the judgment error because they are trying to bust through right now towards these soldiers. And soldiers initiating a good kill on the Soapy, but not without Nazar falling from fall damage himself. They've worked their way through now, but if they don't continue this pace, Hazen might get his own Uber. They're trying to initiate their way onto Sai. He's in this little elbow, but Hazen is going to get sticky sniped all the way across the map from Chunky. So this is just a straight up full Uber if they decide they need to use it.
On the
I
floor,
don't think they
going
do.
up, drop down. I don't know if they know about this. If you can get a good timing, and the scout is looking back just aware enough, but Nazar, if you take that trade with that soldier, that is a great trade. One less soldier spam, Alpha winning 1v1, and he doesn't quite get the second. And huge ad on GlobanClan.
Yep, in a good position back where they were in the very beginning with full Uber ad, potentially going into the other team's last, and they just want to go straight up. They don't want to wait for their other team to build a gun. They don't want to tackle while it's still level 1. They're not able to pressure the point too much. They don't have their team necessarily ready to flood in right now when it's time for the post Uber, so only having 4 players really here at last versus the 6 is going to be really, really difficult.
Yeah, that was
the
so
ideology
rushed.
of going in really fast when they're not set up was great, but their team was 100% not ready for that, and that's definitely going to show. Is this is probably going to be a free point for Morning Light. Shamu was trying to do something in the back lines, but is going to get cleaned up in water, I think it was, or at least somewhere on last.
He was in water, and there were 2 people cutting him off. And now 30% add on Morning Light. 2 players down on their team as well. Samba's trying to clear the sticks in Big Door. Alpha down drop. He's going to try and climb up elbow. Gets spotted. Going to get dealt with. That's actually kind of an opening. A lot of damage in Big Door. Nazara gets Asian in Big Door. And that's a huge turnaround. They get another pick. And this is going to be all on if one of these players can make a play, or they're just going to chill out and play for last. And Morning Light kind of choked that scenario.
Yep, weren't able to clean up Nazar fast enough. He's able to get the rockets he needs to off to be able to collect that medic kill. And we're back to where we were. Another full Uber ad coming out of GlobalClan. We'll have to see if they're able to change the way they're pushing their last. Personally, I kind of feel like they're taking this really, really fast. I'd like to see them play a little bit slower when it comes to, you know, using the Uber into last. So
Sniper.
We'll have to see, if he's able to collect a kill. He misses his first shot. It's going to back up, recognize he's a little bit too far forward. We have a gun set up, no pyro this time, and it seems like it's going to be River again for GlobalClan Marmaloo.
Yeah, I'm hoping they can take it together this time. They get in. There's a pyro on the gun. The gun getting scattered. He's just going to switch off. Scouts in water on the point. Psy in secret. They get a lot of time. Both soldiers on it. And there's so much damage out. As long as they can deal with this heavy, there's so much cap time. Nazara doing a lot, but they just can't do enough. And Ed trying to do something through water. Going to get caught. And Sky actually trying to stay to heal. Ed may bite her in the ass. Just Psy right behind. Gets one pipe. Trying to get Psy and just not the best Uber again. But Shamu's on Spy.
I'm probably not going to be able to take last, but maybe his team can make some noise to be able to collect the kill as they work their way towards chokes. This is some good positioning, some good RNG. He is ready to try to go for a stab as soon as they're able to walk through, and Sandblast is, trying to find some sticks and make some space. Soldier's over on the flank side, and so B's going to work towards the other choke.
The soldier just looked straight at him. He doesn't know. Shamu's gets spotted.
Sandblast knows. He knows how to play an Hour Highlander. He's very familiar with the speed at which players move when they're on Spies. Just immediately jump in from side, double sticky bomb onto Sky. Are you kidding me? Is he going to be able to get this? The sticky bomb, No, the sticky jump was so amazing, but he beefs too many shots, and Sky's going to live with it for life. So
even Sai knows. He acknowledged it in chat.
With the demo down, that's going to be kind of unfortunate for Morning Light. They didn't really need to do that. They already had an Uber advantage. This is only making their Uber advantage that much smaller because they have to wait for their demo man. I mean, maybe they don't have to, but it's really, really good if you do, because you definitely need his burst damage to be able to collect kills and push the other team back into their spawn. So maybe a little bit of a throw, but either way, the reality of the situation is that we're back to an even Uber scenario with GlobalClan on last. Is bomb coming in. Sky popped up into the air.
Good milk, but just knowing they have 4 minutes 30 to get around. Getting those 2 picks is big, but Hayes getting traded out. They need to get out of last, because all Morning Light has to do is sit here. They could do nothing for the next 4 minutes and win this game, and I'm expecting that's probably going to happen. Shamu trying to get something done, but just taking too much damage, and they're just not making it happen. Alpha on Sniper, and they're probably going to start slowing this game down. Given having a sniper does give you a decent opportunity to take a trade against a blob if you do get the info. Not like last time where they blind Ubered and it just was not the best, but Alpha in main going to get a very good first shot. No one knows, shoots it, they know now. And now the clock is ticking, 4 minutes. Shamu's pushing lobby on the sniper, gets him, and that's a really, really good opener. Soldier in here as well. Soapy taking a lot of damage from both the players, going to get picked. Sai in Shutter as well. Hayes and Big Door trying to get on him. Sai gets bowed, and then the air pipe onto Hayes. And that's probably going to stop the advance on the side of GlobalClan. But Shamu does not care. They need to make something happen, and he realizes. Going to take the trade in onto Sai. Trade out. Shamu's trying to get picks, but the problem is he's pulling Sky all the way out here, and Sky's most likely going to be dead. But they got a pick or two to work with, and this is getting really chaotic. Soapy's heading to last, and as long as... Actually, they should be fine. Hayes is at last. They're getting this cap. And that was a miracle play. That was such a good play. Alpha being on Sniper means there's no scout with the med, no building at this time. And they actually made that suspicious fight work out. Great play from Shamu.
Yeah, this level of aggression was not expected by Morning Light, and GlobalClan's going to successfully be able to take back for 2. Unfortunate for them that they did lose Sky, like you said, so this is going to be a scenario where Morning Light has a small ad to work with as long as they build it up. They do have a sniper, though, so despite them having this small ad, their flank might be slightly more weak, and I think GlobalClan will recognize the situation they're in. They have to continue playing aggressive. They're going straight in. And it seems like the frags are going to ring out multiple frags in favor of Morning Light. It seems like the execution of that drive push was not quite what they were looking for, so back to last they go, and this time it's a bit of a back to an Uber disad scenario. Gotta be careful. Sophie's in River. It doesn't seem like he's gonna commit too hard, and they kind of know that all they have to do is get this Uber, and there'll be a pretty nice spot. No off classes coming out from GlobalClan as they pop through Shutter, trying to chase down any players. Sky barely surviving in spawn, but Chunky is going to die with no stickies on point. Sandblast going to go straight onto it, as well as the soldier combo, counter-initiating onto the players that fell for Sandblast, and with Sky, the last one alive.
It's maybe possible to get 2 rounds. It's going to be very, very hard, and if Morning Light recognizes, they should be able to win this, but they are still technically in the game. Their mids have been incredible so far this game. They just need a couple more of those rounds of just instant roll, and they need to start getting going. They cannot play a slow mid at all. They need a double bomb and go right in the other team's face.
Yep, so far GlobalClan has been dominant on mids. They're doing a double soldier bomb over into Big Door, not really able to find a whole lot of targets, so a lot of weak players come out into GlobalClan as it's not really the distraction they wanted.
Oh my god!
They are able to collect the kill.
Air shot. The soldier jumped up and meleeed Psy. I don't think it's going to be enough, but that was incredible.
Yep, and it seems like this is going to be, for the most part, oh, maybe not. I was going to say a victory for Morning Light, but the frags are still coming out in the favor of GlobalClan a little bit, but Sky finally left alone, is going to get cleaned up, and that's going to be a mid-victory for Morning Light. Now, on paper, this is probably a match win for Morning Light, but when it comes to playoff seeding, every single round that you collect in all these matches matters very, very much so, especially when you're playing against other playoff teams. This is still a very important moment when you're calculating the rounds 8 minutes, or 8 weeks into the season. So we can definitely see one more serious last attempt push. Morning Light definitely trying to close out this game for a full 5 rounds.
I don't know about serious last push attempt because Psy's on Pyro, but they do still have the demo. Alpha has switched to demo. They have a Pyro rolling through River, trying to wreak havoc, kill the gun. Pyro v Pyro, but one Uber, that's not fair. Get Sandblast in the side. It's 4v5 for the side of Morning Light. Psy's trying to take a duel on this point, but there's too many people. And GlobalClan actually gonna keep this round difference a little bit cleaner than it would have been if they lost this.
Yep, but at the end of the day, it is going to be a victory for Morning Light. There's only 7 seconds left on the clock. GG being called. It's very much dead time. So that was a little bit closer and a little bit slower pace than I initially expected. But it was definitely a good showing from both the teams. Morning Light is going to be able to collect their first win of the season. GlobalClan is still looking for it as they are going into the next week. So
yeah, a little thing. I'm looking at this logs. Alpha played 7 classes. Which, that's incredible, but really back and forth, and if GlobalClan could clean up their last pushes a little bit, it could have been a different story, but great job from Morning Light, sealing the deal, had a really good first half, and they slowed down the game, made sure they kept in it, and a great play by Alpha at the end with the headshots when the GlobalClan tried to push Big Door.
Yep, early on in the season, so it might be kind of rough trying to figure out the way your team wants to play, and ruling out all the kinks in the way that you're playing, especially because, can be, difficult collecting many scrims to grind out a map during pick ban because you kind of got to share scrims with other teams. So we'll have to see when these teams rematch later on in the season, maybe on a different map even, if GlobalClan are able to convert rounds a little more faster and able to take the match next time. But nonetheless, this time around, Morning Light will be victorious, and it's a good job for them. They definitely kept the train running. They definitely had a long night tonight. And I'd say the win from them is pretty well deserved. They worked hard for it.
I think it's safe to say that the soldiers on GlobalClan definitely they showed they can really show up and mess with other invite competition. I'm really impressed with how Hayes and Nazar played, along with the soldiers on Morning Light. Everybody was playing pretty well. It was a slow game, so the stats on the scouts is going to be sad just because it's a lot of sitting around, a lot of spy, but. Really good overall game from Dingo. 31 and 19 in the end, 290 DPM, and both meds playing pretty well.
Seems like we do have Sandblast here from Morning Light. Sandblast, hello. You've had a bit of a long night tonight, haven't you, when it comes to TF2?
I mean, honestly, it ended on time, to be completely honest with you, because we ended at midnight, so that's pretty cool.
I just meant the amount of TF2 you've played today.
Yeah. 2 dubs, 1 L, you take those.
Yeah, I got that Highlander dub for the boys, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, but you guys the mids weren't looking great, but you guys still stayed in the game. You lost every mid in the first half and still win up 3-0.
Yeah.
How does it feel to know that even though you're not winning probably one of the most important parts of the game, you still can take a half so dominantly?
I mean, our mids, we kind of just got, our soldiers were definitely out of sync on mids, and we wanted to try and fix that, but they were kind of playing really chaotic and kind of just selling out for our medic a bunch. And it's really hard on this map because our soldiers were kind of getting hard denied. And me and Alpha are kind of playing more on the point, and like a couple drop down plays and stuff got the best of us. But our mids definitely weren't the greatest on the map. We played our mids a ton better in scrims, but I guess they had a better plan going into the mids. But I think as a team we kind of played really good in the first half, which is awesome. And then we kind of fell off in the second. I played like significantly worse in the second half, so that's on me. But our mids were definitely a problem, but we definitely played more consistently, and our team fights better than them.
Yeah, just one thing I love to see is I think, let me count how many people went spy that game.
Oh, it was fucking awful.
5 people went spy that game.
Yeah, it was
probably the most I've ever seen.
Yeah, there was a couple of plays because these guys don't like pushing a lot, so we kind of just, there's no reason to not try to like run spy. Maybe you kill an overextender or some stuff. Like, you might as well just try and give it a shot, but it ended up working out.
All right, well, that is going to be your first win collected early on in the season. It's pretty nice to make sure you have some rounds on the board. When it comes to overall the grand scheme of the season, what do you guys think you're aiming for now that you've seen a little bit of the competition by now? Where do you think you're going to land, and what are you shooting for?
I mean, I obviously I think everyone understands that our first match he played was kind of bad for us. We just literally, that was my first ever clear cut official. We never scrimmed it in preseason. Not a single player knew what to expect going into that team, and they're still a great team at the core. Like they play very, very organized on clear cut, and it wasn't really necessarily like an out DM thing. I mean, we didn't really get that many like big picks. Like we didn't really get a lot of frags. But we just didn't play the map correctly, which was the problem. We didn't set our players up for success, which is the issue. But I think that obviously we're pretty much still a shoe-in for playoffs. I don't really think we're gonna have much trouble sneaking in 3rd or 4th seed. I mean, that first loss kind of sucks, but I mean, scrimming Corsia in the midseason, I think both of us are close in skill. I still think they edge us out a little bit just because that core of that team has kind of played with each other for a while. They've been kind of playing for almost 3 seasons straight now, but. I mean, I think we could still get second. It's totally possible. We go back and forth with them in scrims a lot of the time, which is good. And I mean, we can beat this team, and we can definitely beat Wonderwall. But I still think playoffs. I still think we can get 3rd pretty easily. I just think that 2nd place, we're gonna have to put forth a little bit more effort, watch the demos, and focus up real hard.
Yeah, just something funny that I always realize when I look at your match. The pick ban for your match versus Wonderwall was hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
No, all of their pick bans, they banned 3 standard 5 CPs, and the other team bans 3 of the 4 weird maps, and it's just, it's amazing. Because eventually you got to play one of those maps, because you only have 3 bans, at least in the regular season. You kind of got to bite the bullet on one of them.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's obvious that we're banning probably all Koth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that after that performance we had, it was, I think, unacceptable that we had. But I mean, I think that they banned. I mean, it was a good strategy. Ban all the common 5 CPMs, because I think what they thought as a core, they could, they want to bring us on the upset maps. They want to play us on Koth. They want to play us on Villa. They want to play us on the weird maps. Something that can just cause an upset. And they know that Psy's not fond of Koth. They, probably understand that their soldier DM and synergy might be better than ours. So they definitely had the right idea. But I mean, there's still other 5 CP maps. We got Metalworks. There's a couple other ones floating in there, so I'm not too worried the next time we play them.
Next time you meet, you're the home team, so you get to choose.
Oh yeah, we don't need to ban any Koth, which is awesome because
you play
we're not picking it.
3rd time, I think. I'll check. Yeah, who's the home
I think
team,
we all play. I think we get home. Well, they got home team.
No, they get home team again.
Oh, that's really stupid. That's kind of
it's kind of random if you do 3.
Oh no, it shouldn't be random. That's really dumb. You should just do one team gets home team, the other team gets home team. Then
you play teams 3 times though.
I know, yeah. So you should go one team gets it this time, one team gets it the next time, then whoever wins the head-to-head gets it the next time. It should just be like that. So if you win twice against them, then you get the 3rd one. Or you could
do like what they did with ESEA, where both teams just ban maps and you just random the last one if you want to be completely fair.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think if it's random, whatever team gets home team, because yeah, it does play for our team. It plays plays an effect.
No,
since
no,
we-
like the map is completely random between the maps that aren't banned. For
Oh,
the third
yeah.
matchup.
Oh, for sure. I agree with that. Yeah, that makes more sense. But I mean, if you're gonna keep it like a pick ban draft system, like how we just did, I mean, I think that, you know, if you win the head-to-head like 2-0, and then when you meet in the third time, you know, you should just be home team because you have advantage. But I don't know. I think that ruling's a little flawed. I think that should get looked into. If
There's still
Maccabi-
time to change it. So.
yeah, if Maccabi BB wants to change it to like whatever whatever he wants to do, that'd be, you know, more balanced. Because each team will at least get to be home team one time, not leave it up to chance. I could be wrong. There could be some in-depth formula that Dolphin coded on his supercomputer.
True.
But I mean, yeah, that was a good game overall. I mean, they played good. Our second half was definitely very, very sloppy. I think they adapted, but their team fights were still very much the same. We kind of just played worse. But we were expecting to 5-1, 5-0 them. I thought, but we kind of got iced out with the 15-minute last hold. So that's our excuse. They
Well,
they
Jerry, you
suck
got
at
anything?
sacking.
I think we're about done here, at least for the most part.
Shout out, Soundblast.
Yeah, man. Shout out to my team. Shout out to Pops' org, because he runs like a legit org. He has like a Valorant team, a CS team, Rocket League team, and his Valorant team's actually really sick. Like, they're beating tier 1 orgs, which is awesome. Shout out to GlobalClan, another org jumping in TF2, and also the team. They played good in that second half. Also shout out to Golden Cap, my former home. I wish I could be there, but I can't because I'm playing this season.
Unfortunately, but what was I gonna say? You know, yeah. Shout out to Morning Light, like he said. Go check them out on Twitter and all that if you want to see what they're doing over there. But I think that's all we got. And unless you got something to say, either of you, good night.